Break a leg. Oh, that's an interesting phrase, isn't it? When people perform on stage, they get told, break a leg. What I'm thinking is, oh, I don't want to break my leg. But more what I'm thinking is, what if I forget my lines? What if I fall over? Toastmasters and welcome guests, today's speech, I will be exploring the parallels between rock climbing and public speaking. Two very different hobbies or experiences. So why would I be comparing these two elements? I have been a rock climber and I am now a public speaking person doing Toastmasters. Not that I'm a public speaker, because that's a different job entirely. So I'd like to share some insights I've gained over the years and with some kind of hindsight of my experiences. I'd like to share 3 particular areas: preparation, practice, and performance. And then perhaps break a leg can become a cautionary tale as well. Firstly, I'd like just to build a bit of background on the rock climbing that I'll be talking about. And I've decided to go low tech with some pictures. So this is an area called Portland along the southwest coast. And I used to climb with my partner on the rock faces. And this type of climbing is called lead climbing, where this is a type of climbing where we have a rope and pre-planned routes on the cliff face. And you have a rope, and I don't have heavy equipment at the moment, but you have preparation beforehand where you have the equipment, and like with public speaking and routes, they're sometimes called lines. So you know where you're going and you prepare with a map and your equipment, and you clip on and then put the rope through. This goes onto the wall or the cliff, and this goes into your rope and your harness. So in preparation, so that's setting the background of the type of climbing. And
sorry, I don't quite understand this. I mean, why do you do this? I mean, it just seems like a crazy thing to do. Why not just get a helicopter or whatever and go to the top? Why all that danger and risk?
I saw the thrill, Gavin. So just much like public speaking, it's for the thrill of the climb, and you want to kind of take part and just enjoy the experience when you're climbing up the cliff face. So sometimes a helicopter, although I might have been refueling it last weekend. Not everyone has a helicopter to take part in the kind of being by the coast. Okay, so when you're climbing, it's important to know your lines, be prepared, and much like climbing in public speaking, it's good to be prepared, have your speech ready, have notes if you want to, and have your mind that you're prepared to give a speech. So moving on to practice. In rock climbing, it's good to practice not just the climbing, but also practice the falling. So it's the pros and cons of public speaking. It's good to practice your speeches, because it's important to know where you're going to go, the timings and what you're going to say. But also, this is where you practice in front of people to have the engagements, and in case you get hecklers, to practice that element. But when I was climbing, with a bit of hindsight, I'd like to share that I didn't like to practice falling. When my partner used to say to me, it's all well and good you're climbing, but you need to know what it feels like when you're falling. And I was like, no, I just want to climb. I don't want to fall. That's not what my objective is. And he'd be like, well, you need to practice falling so that you know what it feels like, because you're climbing. And if you don't make the clip, you have a period, a space where you kind of fall, because that's the closest point is the last place you've clipped your clip. And I said to him, don't worry, I just won't push myself. I'll just be in my comfort zone, and I'll just not reach outside of my comfort zone. I just don't want to practice falling. And
I disagree with you, Suhan. I mean, I think you should actually just push yourself outside your comfort zone. You know, I don't agree with not doing that. And do you need to practice falling? Well, surely if you're going to fall, then, you know, do you need to practice how to get up? Not really.
No, I hear you. That's exactly what I was thinking at the time. So when I will share with you kind of what happens if you don't practice. So if you just bear with me, I'll go on to that bit in a minute. Thank you for that. And lastly is the performance. So you've got your preparation, you've done your practicing, and in your speeches you want to practice so that you can, as I say, you can fine-tune your performance. And much like rock climbing and public speaking, there are parallels, because you want to get out there, you want to do your best, and when you're rock climbing, you want to kind of get to the top and feel like, yes, I've made it. So from the big ground up is a performance, because you want to know where you're going, where to put your hands, where to clip in, and it's almost like you've achieved something when you get to the top. And with public speaking and speech making and your speech craft, when you've performed and you're happy with the result, you get better. So it's important to be prepared. It's important to practice so that.
Oh yeah, what's up? Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah, no, I really did. What an idiot! I know. Yeah,
Sorry, it's going to be bad, but if you can just turn it to silent. So in practicing and performance, you say that you know what to expect and how to deal with all eventualities. So when I say I want to come back to break a leg being a cautionary tale, and my reluctance to perhaps practice the falling, whereas I am now not reluctant so much to practice and perform my public speaking, hence this being my level 4 speech, it's really important that you know we're in Toastmasters and Solent Speakers because it's a safe place to practice and to perform and deliver speeches, that, you know, even if I do fall, I can pick myself up and dust myself off, and, you know, as people say, you're still here, it doesn't matter, it's all good. And if it's a great performance and I have broken a leg, it is only metaphorical, so that's fine. But when you don't practice falling and you don't listen to your partner's wise words, what happens? When I was climbing, this is not the actual climb, but you're quite high up, I was pushing myself out of my comfort zone, and I didn't make the next move. And I did, unfortunately, break my leg. So the cautionary tale is, do practice, because unlike rock climbing, when you don't practice enough, and you do end up breaking a leg. So preparation, practice, and performance, these are the kind of the parallels with rock climbing, public speaking. Thank you very much.